Dear students, welcome back to JCE Connect, Department of Chemistry. The last class we had discussed about the electrolysis plating of nickel. Similarly, in today's class, let us discuss another example, that is electrolysis plating of copper. For the deposition of copper onto any substrate, the substrate surface must be catalytically active. If we are using catalytically active substrate surface, then this step, the surface preparation step, is not required for the electrolysis plating. Suppose if you are using non-catalytic substrate surface or non-metallic materials like glass or plastics, then their surface must be prepared for the deposition. As we discussed earlier, it can be done by a chemical treatment, that is the substrate surface is first cleaned properly by using organic solvents, followed by acid treatments to remove any grease material or any rust particle onto it. Then the same substrate surface is first dipped into a solution of stannous chloride and hydrochloric acid, followed by it is dipped in a solution of palladium chloride and hydrochloric acid solution. Thereby, the stannous chloride reduces the palladium from +2 oxidation state to 0 oxidation state. Thereby, this palladium metal coats or makes a thin layer deposition onto the substrate surface. On drying the surface, it is found to have a thin layer of palladium which catalyzes the initial deposition of copper onto the substrate surface. After the surface preparation step, the substrate or the article is then dipped into a plating bath. The composition of the plating bath is given here. Whatever the composition given here is for 1 liter. If you are increasing the volume of the plating bath solution, then you need to change the composition accordingly. So it contains 12 gram of copper sulfate, which is the metal ion source, that is coating solution. Then 8 gram of formaldehyde, which acts as a reducing agent, which itself undergoes oxidation and provides electrons for the reduction of copper. Then 15 gram of sodium hydroxide, which maintains the basic condition. Then 14 gram of Rochelle salt, which is nothing but the double salt of sodium and potassium tartarate, which acts as a buffer. Then 20 gram of EDTA, which acts as a complexing agent and exaltant. So this is the composition of the bath. In this bath, the catalytically active substrate is dipped. By dipping the catalytically active substrate surface, the plating of copper occurs onto the substrate surface. The pH of the bath is maintained around 11 and the temperature is maintained around 25 degree centigrade. During electrolysis plating of copper, oxidation and reduction reactions are taking place. That can be written as oxidation, that is a formaldehyde in presence of a base undergoes oxidation, produces HCOO minus plus 2 moles of water molecule plus hydrogen gas plus 2 electrons. These 2 electrons are taken up by the copper metal ions, which undergoes a reduction reaction, and the copper metal ions reduces from +2 oxidation state to 0 oxidation state. That means copper metal ion is get converted into copper metal atoms. These metal atoms get deposited onto the substrate surface or the article to be plated. Then the net redox reaction can be written as 2 moles of formaldehyde plus 4 moles of hydroxyl ion plus copper 2 plus ion gives rise to 2 HCOO minus plus 2 water molecule plus hydrogen gas plus copper metal atoms. So these copper metal atoms get deposited onto the substrate surface or the article. The copper ions and formaldehyde are consumed during the reactions and that are to be replenished periodically. It means as you continue the electrolysis plating of copper, the copper metal ions which are get deposited, thereby the concentration of copper metal ions decreases in the plating bath. At the same time, formaldehyde undergoes oxidation to provide electrons for the reduction of copper. Formaldehyde is also decreasing in the plating bath. In order to maintain uniform or in order to get the uniform coating of copper, we need to have the concentration of copper ions and formaldehyde in the plating bath. A desired concentration must be maintained. For that, these two are to be added continuously or periodically to the plating bath. Then the control of metal content and the pH are important. It means to get a uniform coating of copper onto a substrate surface, the concentration of a metal ion plays very much important role. If you are not maintaining the concentration of metal ion, you may not get the uniform deposition of copper. Instead, you may get the burnt or uneven deposition of copper onto the substrate surface. This is how the copper will be coated onto substrate surface. The advantage of this electrolysis plating is we can deposit the metal onto any substrate surface. That is, the substrate surface need not be a conductor all the time. It may be an insulator or semiconductor. That is why it finds an extensive application in the preparation of printed circuit boards. Let's discuss the steps involved in the preparation of double-sided and multi-layer printed circuit boards. The plastic board is coated with the copper by above mentioned method. So far we have discussed how to coat the copper onto plastic surface. By that technique we need to coat the copper onto a plastic surface with the rate of 1 to 5 micrometer per hour till we get the thickness of about 5 to 100 micrometer of copper onto the plastic surface. Then the selected area are protected and the rest of the copper is etched away to produce the circuit pattern. It means the circuit pattern is made onto the copper plated plastic board, then that part is covered and the remaining copper is removed from the copper plated plastic board so as to get the pattern which is required for the insertion of electronic components. The connection between both sides of the track is made by drilling hole followed by plating through holes by electrolysis plating. The connection between two sides of the plastic board can be done by making a drill. Then in that drill we can make selective electrolysis plating of copper on that intricate parts. Isn't it? Now you got the board with the copper lining on that. Then based on your requirement you can place the electronic components onto this circuit board. This is how we can prepare the printed circuit boards, and this method proves a best example for the preparation of printed circuit boards. With this we have covered the prescribed syllabus in this module, that is module 2 corrosion and metal finishing completes with this information. In the next class we'll discuss the next module. Thank you.